We are recording 2 shows within 72 hours of each other.
It's like a back-to-back in NBA.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. That's what I was going to say.
This is just a mental turnaround. Good grief.
I appreciate you guys accommodating for my schedule. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Happy to do it.
So we had a different pre-show planned, and something happened this morning. So as part of our show today, we're going to have a listener mailbag.
Okay.
One of the listeners asked a particular question about our spouses, and I tried to get them to give like a 2-minute answer.
Yeah. Good luck.
So my wife sends me a 20-minute sound clip, and I listen to it, and it's gold.
Oh, no.
It is gold. It's not good for you or me.
Oh, no.
But it is gold. So I have an announcement. I've already worked out a deal with the two of them. This summer, I'm going to be putting on a series of hobby packs featuring the spouses and perhaps children of the Pack to the Future podcast. They will be hobby packs. I will produce them. I'll get them lined up and take care of it. But guys, listening to this one today, it was gold. Gold. Sure. I told some of our listeners in our private chat, once I told them that we had these people lined up, the flood of questions came in, and they're going to humiliate all of us. It's going to be awful, but it will be a massage for your ears.
What more can we do for you? What more do we have to do to entertain you all?
I have no idea.
There's an Adam. Oh, it's a 101.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pack to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I am joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone call for a doctor?
How you doing, Doc?
I'm frightened by the hobby packs and hope to still be married at the end of summer.
And he's the only one that doesn't fear these upcoming hobby packs, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Dr. Tim.
Here we go, baby. Prepare to be underwhelmed.
On this week's show, we are going to talk all things NBA Finals Booklets. We're going to be talking listener questions. But before we jump into all of that, I thought we'd cover a little bit of hobby news. Timmy, why don't you start us off with the Goldin auction coming up?
Yeah. These auctions are fun to just peek in on periodically and even watch the endings of, like certain hobby friends that we know of. And specifically, we're referring to the current month Goldin Elite auctions. So the June Goldin Elite featured lots. And there's some bangers in this lot.
Yeah, there are. There absolutely are.
So these auctions are ending June 25th, so you have plenty of time to scroll over and look at these and just get a sense for how ridiculous some of these cards are.
Sell your home, liquidate that cash, and get ready to bank a bid.
Yeah, exactly. God. Don't buy crypto.
We're sorry, Tim.
It's been ugly. But anyway, ending June 25th, you've got a couple really great cards. I think obviously highlighted by the LeBron triple logo man, which has been covered to death. But
what do you think about the slab? Just slabbed authentic. I thought it was brilliant, actually.
I like it a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll let you know that the $14 million card you're about to hand over is real without actually getting a grade. And they always say you shouldn't grade a 101.
You know that you're not going to get a replica of it. No one's going to try and swap. I don't know why you would swap out that patch, but you're also not getting a number on it, right? Like if it comes back 7, you're still going to buy the card, but it's like, ooh, it's kind of a 7.
Right.
I thought it was brilliant.
What do you think, Tim?
I'm in fierce disagreement with both of you.
Let's fight.
This was pulled from Flawless. Let's bring it. Yeah. No, so this was a case hit from Flawless. And so you've got the Panini seal on one end of that mag. There's a lot of collectors out there that feel very strongly, myself included, that that's worth more than a PSA slab. By removing that seal, you have now completely ruined the 1/1.
Hold on. You're saying you would rather have the Panini seal than a PSA slab?
Yep.
Why?
Because it looks better.
You may not be wrong.
It's a notorious enough card at this point that people know what it looks like. You're not going to be able to alter that card ever.
I don't think I'll argue with you that it looks better. However, I think that for the price of it, I want to say it being in a PSA slab is going to be worth more than the Panini sticker.
I'd prefer it in a PSA slab, but if you're a non-slabbed guy or a BGS or a CSG, maybe that, you feel similar to Tim.
What about the test of time, though? 20, 30 years from now, if Panini is still completely removed from the major sports, are you still going to feel the same way? I assume PSA will still be the leader. We don't know that either, so you could argue that side of it.
Yeah. It'll be a historical relic at that point.
Right.
It'll be funny. I think it'll be swapped out at least a couple times in the sense that the PSA slab slip will be on the left, then flip back over to the right, and then flip back over to the left, depending on who owns it.
I do think that they had it slabbed the correct way, if I recall.
I think so too, but
what do you think? I don't know what you guys say is the correct way. I know one time I thought it was correct and it was incorrect. And
that's correct.
You guys busted me.
What do you guys think of the card overall? I think it's a really important card. I think, imagine if Jordan or Ruth or Jerry Rice or some of the older greats had something like this available.
No.
This is going to be the new chase card 100 years from now, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, they're really just amazing examples of that, too, as far as just what if one of these players had something similar.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What patch what logo man do you guys like best? So on the left, we have Skinny Stitch. In the middle, we have the Stitch who's gained a few pounds. And then on the right, it's not a stitched on pass. It's just like a pressed on version.
First.
The Skinny Stitch?
Yes.
Of the Cavs. And I think I have to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, those are just the better looking patches. We didn't need the chunky patches.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah.
Chad, what do you think of the card?
I do think it's an important card. I think it's cool. I don't know that it should warrant the price tag that it's going for now. Yes,
What's it at right now?
It is unique.
1.5 million.
1.5 as of recording today. However, what's to stop Panini from making another one of these next year?
Oh, not much.
How pissed would you be?
About as pissed as the guy who sold Tom Brady's final touch, or who bought Tom Brady's final touchdown ball before that got traded back.
Right.
So that product ends when you're hearing this 1 week from today.
Yep.
At air. So still plenty of time. And by the time you're hearing this podcast, if you go check this out on Goldin Auctions website, it'll probably be significantly higher than what we're saying.
Yeah.
You think so? I mean, where do you guys think this will end? I mean, I'm sure plenty of people have played this game at this point.
There were bounties initially, right, for $500,000 and $1 million.
Yeah.
I've heard numbers as high as 3 or 6 that they expect it to go for, and of course that could be Goldin pumping it.
Sure.
Yeah,
I would say the same thing if I was Goldin.
Yeah.
I was going to guess 3 to 4.
If it goes less than 3, is it a disappointment?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
No.
I think the answer is yes.
No.
Yes! It is yes! 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 Yes!
$1 million per Jerry West.
Yes.
Jeez. I think that sounds nice. 3 mil.
Boy, if it's under 3, the sky is going to fall for hobby investors.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, gosh.
Well, there's that, right? Especially in this inflationary period.
Yeah. Interesting card for sure.
Yeah.
Very captivating. We were even talking about getting together the day you're listening to this just to watch this auction. We thought that'd be fun.
Yeah.
At least I did, and you guys kind of humored me. And said,
I think we should do it, and you guys should get hammer timed, and we should then enter a break together.
You know what they should have done, though? Instead of having all of these end at the same time,
we're going to do that.
Staggered. You could do that, too. Yeah. No, we should have. They should have staggered the end times on all these auctions by like even 30 seconds. So
do they not do that?
Looks like they all end at exactly the same time.
Wow. Other cards of note, Chad's Disney Mickey card, a PSA 8, 1931 Willis Stars is being sold.
Yeah, oddly enough, as I just refreshed this, it didn't make the main page now, so it must just they must be editing the post or something for that to not be number 2.
Well, and they know that you'll take out a 15th mortgage on your home if there's a little mouse on the card.
I love that card. That's a great card.
Yeah, it's a PSA 8 from 1931, and I know you're kind of getting onto that whole vintage older card kick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and surprisingly affordable. Right now, it's at $1,500. I mean,
it'll go for at least double that.
Yeah,
for sure,
gotcha.
And just go up higher and higher. And guys, I keep looking at my eBay purchase from last week when I bought the lot from the guy over in the UK. The card looks really good on the eBay photos. I'm not going to get that card for about a month, I don't think, but ooh, baby, if that card looks good, that's going to be a fun submission to do.
That could be.
And you know what? Last week's episode, I went back to the Kobe Bryant, you like rejoicing over my failure.
Yep.
And I will hype up that Mickey Mouse card so much that if I fail, you are free to like stomp all over me. And I will never, ever complain about it.
No, I'm hoping that you get a good grade on that. That's well earned. Good find.
And your abuse from that sound clip has officially ended. So I apologize, Ricky.
Fair enough.
No, that's deserved. It was a funny clip.
Can I highlight 2 more cards then?
Please.
Just for perspective on these lots. So we've got, the extreme end, the vintage, right? And then for modern products, not quite modern, you've got the 2013-14 Kobe National Treasures Colossal Logo Man Auto. It's not a 101, surprisingly. It was one of 2.
Wow.
But slabbed in a BGS 8.5. It's currently at $52,000. So, wow. Ricky, you had mentioned, wanting to own, something like this for a better player. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I mean...
Oh, yeah. I think that's a must-have card for sure.
Yeah.
When you get to some of these older players and they can get the Logo Man in, especially because when they're not going to play again, or they're not going to produce any more of those cards, there's a finite number of those jerseys in existence. I think those are so cool and so meaningful to go, and we'll touch on that in a little bit in the show with our preferred talk.
Man, yeah. So compare that to the 2021 Anthony Edwards Flawless Logo Man RPA, currently bid up to $195,000.
Yeah, with still another like 2 weeks to go as we're recording this, 1 week to go as you're hearing this. I think that's ridiculously too high.
Especially compared to that Kobe.
That's absurd. I want to meet the individual. I'd love to have him on the air just to ask, I want to find out what their day is like. to say that was a good idea to click yes on $195,000.
And thanks for clarifying the date. I think I screwed that up earlier. So
nope, you're good.
Good call. These cards are insane, though. I mean, even the $195,000. As I look right now, that card's maybe number 10 on the list of highest bids. You got a Jordan Red PMG. You got a Giannis NT RPA.
The Babe Ruth we skipped over, the 1916 PSA 4. That's not just any Babe Ruth. That's what's considered his rookie card.
Yeah,
that card looks so cool.
It does.
If you do not have a clear vision of what that card looks like, jump on just to look at that one.
Yeah.
And then this Kobe Bryant credentials as well, EX 2000 credentials, PSA 10. That one's currently at $600,000.
Wow.
Just a massive auction.
Yeah. You guys should log on to this goldenauctions.com because when we go on there to do some show research, I always kind of roll my eyes and think, I don't want to have to mess around with this website. It's going to be difficult to find. It's going to be like eBay. You have to track through thousands of cards. No, they just have like 20 of the nicest cards you've ever seen in your lifetime. And you can just watch it. It's super easy to look at, super easy to find. I'd go check it out just to peruse. And if we do get together in a week, maybe we can record something and do something for the audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe y'all can get screwed.
No, I was enamored right now. I'm looking at the Michael Jordan rookie card that's autographed as well and thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to sit down with my wife and just watch this auction and then talk to her about how she enjoys watching Goldin Auctions for a date night on Saturday on a future hobby pack. So should be fun.
Sounds amazing.
All right, Chad, what do you got for us?
All right, so I'll give you a little bit of news about grading, and this time we're going to talk about PSA. They have opened their value service finally after a long closure. So what that means is that you will be able to grade your cards at $30 a card, cheaper than the current $50 a card for economy. Now, this $30 per card comes with a 20-card minimum. Mm-hmm. Now, this will be available by the time the show is released, June 9th. Cards can only be submitted from 1996 to 2002. Declared value limit of $499. So I think we should pause there. A year or two ago, we declared the junk slab era as being those young 90s cards.
Mm-hmm.
That term caught on, and PSA has taken notice and essentially said no more early 90s for this value service. Putting the bottom floor at 1996.
And the ceiling was surprising to me too. I think when I was glossing over things, I definitely just completely glossed over 2002 and not 2012.
Right.
That's a pretty fierce cutoff.
That is.
That is.
A little 7-year window of cards they actually say these are worthy.
Well, really what they're saying is this is the next junk slab era.
Wait. So for the $30 per card, you can only submit a card made from 1996 to 2002.
That's what I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
That is not a misprint. That is not a typo. That is not misinformation from us.
I sure hope not. Now I'm really worried that we've highlighted it so much as I'm typing feverishly into my keyboard.
If that's true, that can't be true. That has to be 2022. I'm sorry, it does.
You think so? Why? I'm nervous. Okay, according to PSA.com/value, available years 1996. Thank you guys to 2022.
Oh, thank God.
And thank you for calling that out.
Ah, damn.
If that had
It still
been
has a floor of 96, but it's 2022.
Okay, so we can still be looking to put together a big old group submission at some point.
Thank God you found that out.
Oh,
that didn't sound right. Right, Ricky?
No.
Our HR department and our PR department would just have a nightmare 2 weeks from now. I don't think we pay them enough to have to cover that.
No, we fired our intern.
Oh, boy.
Saturday at 10:30, Tim and I's phones would be blowing up.
And what I learned from the first Hobby Pack recording, silence your phone. May not wake you up, but it wakes your wife up. She's pissed about it. And in turn, that gets mad at me because my wife ratted out to your wife that I'm the one texting you at 4:45 in the morning.
Oh, you woke up my wife with your text this morning?
Yeah, and apparently your dogs wake up too. Everyone wakes up except for you.
I did not hear a thing.
Man.
I responded at the ripe hour of 10 a.m.
Just turn that thing on silent.
No, I know. That's the only reason why I still send them that early, because I figure, Ricky's got his.
Yeah, that's what I figure too.
It's 50-50.
What are you doing?
Oh, my goodness. That we look bad too.
Oh, man. Okay, so 2022, a couple other points here, and then let's discuss.
Yeah.
The new value orders will be shipped back beginning early fall of this year after the 2021 value orders ship.
Okay.
Including one of mine that I sent to PSA in March of 2021 that is still in the grading process.
Wow.
Oh.
Very frustrating. Estimated turnaround time, 120 days, and they highlight that is estimated.
Okay.
Now, this is for the value service for the economy. Let's see. Am I thinking about this right? For the service that we just used,
90 days.
our turnaround time was stated to be 90 days, but in reality was just under 60.
Yeah. Which
Door
is,
to door.
Yes, but I would argue that before they came out with that 90-day window, I feel like we got ours in. That was still the lottery system.
Yes, and
So-
I agree with you.
So that could be closer to 90 days if you submit economy now.
Yeah, true.
And we just, but I was pleasantly surprised with how quick our cards came back with what you're hearing. So maybe they'll be able to keep it truly to that 120-day window.
What do you guys think about this? What do you think about the price? What do you think about the turnaround time? What do you think about the restrictions?
Well, we're finally creeping towards affordable pricing again.
Okay.
It will be an excellent option for low-end cards you want graded, and if you're able to be patient. I didn't think these would be great for flipping unless you plan carefully because there's such a long delay. But I think this is an excellent option for PC that are not like super meaningful cards.
Oh, Tim, we can give the listeners a good point here. Ricky, you set this up perfectly. Last year, Topps Chrome. Last year or 2 years ago, Luis Robert. When was he a rookie?
2020.
So 2 years ago, when you were pulling some of his rookie cards, and I grabbed some of them as well in order to grade and then flip.
Yeah.
We had a discussion about paying more to be the first ones to get that card graded and then resell.
Yeah.
But we didn't. And we elected to go with the lowest level of service. And it took about a year for them to come back. And last year, I think Ricky and I joked that we were going to do one of those, like a basket of Luis Roberts, and we were going to buy them as fractional ownership because the price had tanked so much in that period of time.
Yeah. Fierce.
Ricky, you make a great point. You got to be careful about why you are submitting these cards. And if you want to flip them,
It's not the answer.
it may not be the answer, and you could end up getting hurt very much how you did, and Ricky and I did to a much lesser degree.
Absolutely.
It was a large difference because at one point those base top series 1 Roberts were as high as $400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So we cheaped out over what, like $10, $12 or something. And yeah, ouch.
Ouch indeed.
So similar to PSA, CSG is making some changes. Effective July 5th of this year, they will be increasing the price of their submissions. Submission forms beginning July 5th will reflect the new changes. Any submissions forms completed prior to July 5th will still qualify for the old pricing, but you have to get it to them by September 6th of this year. The price increase will reflect as follows. For bulk submissions, it will increase from $12 to $15, economy from $20 to $25, standard $30 to $35, express $60 to $70, walkthrough $125 to $150. In many cases, CSG also reported submitters will benefit from faster return shipping at lower costs, as well as insurance coverage procured by CSG. FedEx up to $50,000, USPS up to $100,000. What do we think about this?
For me personally, never use CSG. I like the fact that they set up the insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. And I understand that you're paying a little bit more to get that coverage. Their prices seem very reasonable, very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even for an express card, you're only paying $70, which I think is right around half for what you would be looking at PSA.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are people who will like to have this insurance. We just probably doesn't apply so much to us. So for me, it doesn't move the needle, but I like that they're making changes. I like the fact that they're giving the coverage.
Don't you have one CSG card?
No.
Okay.
No. SGC, I have several.
SGC, that's what I was confusing the two.
But not CSG.
For me, I thought, hey, if this keeps them from becoming backlogged the way PSA and BGS have become previously, good for them. I do think the prices are still reasonable, but I don't see how the price hike directly assists with faster shipping or helping improve the product. Because I think they've also hiked the prices of shipping as well.
Which, to be fair, was USPS's fault. So.
Yeah.
But
true.
Yeah. I mean, negligible differences, though, in their price hikes. I mean, this is more like an operational cost type hike, I think, than any kind of dissuasion. But I mean, very reasonable. Like, I think the sweet spot is going to be the $70 express level up to a $10,000 card. I mean, to be able to get something like that back within a month, I mean, I think that'll be worth it, especially if it's a high-priced card from a modern product that just got released.
Yeah. I wonder what type of $10,000 card has a CSG slab. If you want to talk for a minute, I'll pull that up on eBay.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that
Have you guys ever thought about submitting? We are very much just not on the CSG wagon. I'm sure they make a great product, but that's just not been our jam.
No, that I wouldn't even consider them at this point.
Let's do CSG Jordan. How about
even
that?
after their updated label, Ricky?
No, I'm not happy with the update. It didn't do enough for me. And it's not that they're not HGA for me. I don't actively dislike them, but I think that they're just too many. I'd rather have SGC, PSA, BGS, depending on the slab.
So we've got a best offer accepted for a Jordan, 86 Jordan, CSG 8. The best offer accepted was 7,400, so somewhere just below that. So...
Man.
I don't know. I don't know that really gives us as much information as I was hoping. Let me just type in CSG. What else do we have here? Oh, you can get yourself a Deshaun Watson NT RPA for $8,300.
Hey, there you go, Hugo.
So, something just to keep track of. I think that they are a good grading service if you want fast, affordable, and to protect your cards. And I think a lot of people do like CSG. I actually did buy one CSG card that I gifted to someone at work when we went to the Vegas card show.
Right.
Timmy and Chad, you're not going to believe this, Chad. I think I just busted Timmy. I have breaking news.
Oh.
And I'm going to rat.
Are you
Timmy.
serious?
Yeah. I think I just busted him. I don't think Timmy put the audio of our wives into the soundboard.
Tim, how could you?
I didn't know I was supposed to.
I didn't give it to him because it's 20 minutes long.
Oh,
see?
We're really
so
not
saying pre-show.
Yeah,
no.
Screw you, Ricky.
Yeah.
But there were so many things that my brain was racing to, so.
I'll tell you why.
I had to give you that split second of,
I'll tell you why I missed that. I did pick up the fact you were saying that, but I thought that you had maybe cut it down. The reason I say that is, man, I have been just thinking nonstop about our good friend Jonathan Rotunda and his Rotobox product. I hate that when I rip some fresh wax and hit a PC card, that I have to pay $50 plus, wait 3 to 6 months for the damn card to return. I also hate the fact that buying wax to get said card hits are largely unaffordable nowadays. So I think Rotobox has solved this problem with their incredible repackaged product. If you head over to the rotobox.com right now, you can join me in picking up a Rotobox slab baseball pack. For just $64.99, you'll receive one Rotobox exclusive kitty card and one slabbed and graded baseball card. Hits include Aaron Judge, Chris Bryant, Pete Alonso, Christian Yelich, Ronald Acuna, Juan Soto, Luis Robert, Keston Hiura, Nolan Gorman, and many more. But what if we take it up a notch?
Ooh.
Right after today's show, I'm talking to Chad and Tim about going in together on a case of Roto Basketball Series 3.
Woo.
For $2,200, we will receive 6 boxes in our case, each box containing 1 to 2 premium slabbed and graded basketball hits. Let me ask you if you know some of these names, Chad.
Lay it on me.
Kobe Bryant.
Heard of him.
Michael Jordan.
Yep.
LeBron James.
My God.
Zion Williamson.
Oh, baby.
Luka.
Oh.
John Morant.
Yeah.
And many more. So head over to the rotobox.com. That's the rotobox.com. Check out their amazing products and pick up your next big hit. At checkout, use the code FUTURE for an additional $10 off your order. That's the rotobox.com, promo code FUTURE. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. You can check us out on our website at pttfpodcast.com. Listen to the show while shopping for all your hobby supply needs in our wonderful sponsorship tab. And then leave us a voicemail. You'll make it to air. Entertain the masses.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, speaking of which, we did throughout the call, and the listeners responded big time about ask Chad any question you want. Is that what it was? No. We said, what are some questions you may have for the show?
The answer is always red lace.
The listeners came through in the clutch. And let's jump into some of these questions. Chad, first question, how did the three of us meet?
Someone asked us this and they said, okay, it's kind of been covered on the show before, but
Yeah.
maybe give a little bit more in-depth answer of this. So my thought here is that we each give our own perspective.
Okay, I think that's a good
Does
idea.
that sound okay?
Yeah.
Do you want me to give both my perspective of you and Tim?
Sure.
Okay. So my first memory in meeting Ricky was in high school here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I had gym class, and I was going over to shoot some hoops with my buddy Dylan during gym class.
Okay.
So go get changed, walk out into the gym. And I don't know how this happened, but we had the entire gym to ourselves, even though it was gym class. There's probably some sort of concussion-related issue trying to connect the dots in my brain here. But I remember Dylan pretending and telling me that he was John Stockton shooting threes. And then this other guy who's rolling out in jazz shorts is over there shooting hoops telling me he's Karl Malone. And I'm thinking, what in the world's wrong with these two idiots? You're not John Stockton, you're not Karl Malone.
We were.
But that other idiot was Titian, like Karl Malone, and that was you.
Yeah,
And that's how my memory...
I could shoot for a minute.
You could. You had a
There's
nice
a
little
day.
jumper. Well, you had the sport court in your backyard.
Yes.
The coveted sport court. And so shortly after that, either after school or during the summer, we'd go play on your sport court. And we played 2-on-2, 3-on-3, have dunk contests. You would lower the rim to like 4 feet and I would dunk.
We'd give the ball to our two friends, Brian, who were best friends growing up, and they'd watch them fist fight. We'd all get out of the way.
Those guys, they're big boys and they would just bang right into each other.
Yeah,
and we would egg it on.
Multiple fist fights attempted.
So those are my memories of Ricky.
Good memory.
We ended up playing a little bit of football together. We talked about that. I also remember you were one of those baseball idiots.
Yeah, I was.
And so I ran track, and our track was adjacent to the baseball practice field.
Yeah.
And I always remember you and one of the other guys named Josh would just like be heckling me as I'm running sprints and thinking, again, this guy thinks he's Karl Malone.
Look at this
And he's also
loser.
razzing me as I'm trying to run my sprints. What is wrong with him? Never in my wildest dreams, I think we'd end up being on a podcast.
Here today talking about some of the stuff we talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my story of Ricky.
Truly
Now with Tim's a little bit different. So Tim, I met in what would have been my first year of medical school, Tim's second year of medical school. And as memory serves me, the first meeting was after microbiology test, which I think was in our second block. So it's probably in the winter of 2016.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after the test, that test was a tough one. After the test, a bunch of us from my first year class decided to go out to Wendover, which is a gambling town. So you can't gamble in Utah, and you got to drive out 90 minutes west of Salt Lake City
to the edge
get
of
there.
Utah.
And it is right on the border.
They put a big yellow line.
Yeah. We've had some adventures in Wendover too. Oh
Yes.
my God. We should talk about that at some point.
That's another show.
That
Armpit
is,
of Nevada.
yeah. Oh boy. So
We might have gotten
go out
arrested,
there,
almost arrested once or twice.
but we had a blast doing it.
Oh, yes.
And the boys to
Excellent.
men were involved. So deal with it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they were.
Oh, man. So we go out there, and Wendover's 90 minutes. It doesn't matter if you drive 120 miles an
Nope.
hour or if you drive 60. There is nothing but desert and what used to be the Great Salt Lake when we had water.
Right.
But it took 90 minutes to get out there. So we go out there with my first year class, and they're telling me, oh, yeah, some of the second years are going to be there. And when you're a first year in med school, you look up to second years like they're gods. So because they've already been through it.
Yeah. Speaking of Wendover, where Con Air was filmed when the plane wrecks and then takes back off, there's like a middle of nowhere town. That's
What?
Wendover, Utah.
Seriously?
The plane is still out there.
Oh my
Wendover
goodness.
also has, I think, one of the planes from World War II that dropped one of the big
They do.
bombs.
They do.
And that's where that plane is housed.
And the Salt Flats where all the races, all the speed records are met.
All the
So
commercials are filmed.
I'll give people kind of an idea because no one outside of Utah has
Yep.
any idea what
It's
Wendover
where some of the
is.
Pirates of the Caribbean was filmed, too, is in Salt Flats.
Yes.
So, second years, we're going to be out in Wendover. We get out there, and I remember just being very relieved and having a cocktail since I was out there. I just took the test, had the whole weekend in front of me. And we met up with some of the second years, and our buddy Tariq, he was kind of the mediator between the first years and the second years. And this dude was pretty wild, man. He could organize a party like nobody's business.
Oh, no.
And Tariq's like, hey, have you met this guy over here? And he gave a name for you that I never called you, nor will I ever repeat.
It's a Hostess product.
It is, which I did not ever care for, and whatever.
No, yeah.
But anyway, he points over to you, and in my mind, I look across the casino, and I see this table, and I want to say it's like Pai Gow poker, something I've never played before. Have you ever played Pai Gow? Were you playing Pai Gow at this time?
I don't think so.
Oh,
It
we're
would've been
gonna. It was
blackjack.
either Pai
Are you
Gow
a
or
Pai Gow?
Baccarat. I really don't think it was blackjack.
No?
But it could have been. Anyway,
Okay.
I look across and I see one person sitting at this table just completely focused on the cards. I look over and it's you. And I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? Why is he so focused on this? And that was the first time that I met you that I can remember.
I can recall.
Excellent.
a good one.
I took a guess at
What'd
the
you
name.
just put on
I
there?
took a guess at the name Tim was called, and I won't say it, but I'll just wrote it down.
No.
Those were the guess.
Gotta keep trying.
All right, I'll jump in
But
next. I'll jump in next if you're okay, Timmy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait,
So-
do either of those even sound like, is my memory serving me somewhat correctly? I know you would have been out in Wendover.
I remember the PE class,
Okay.
and I remember heckling the idiot trying to run hills during track sprints. Those are very kind and sweet stories that I hadn't thought of, and it's funny because I have completely different stories, and I'm not
Nice.
doing shtick. These are nice ones too. As I've mentioned multiple times, I decided I was going to be a two-sport athlete for a minute, and this is a whole other story about how I got kind of forced into playing football because my pride in front of my girlfriend's family at the time.
Hey, that mattered back then.
And so I joined and caught a pass as a tight end from Chad, who played quarterback for our team. And and then I quit football and became a single sport athlete approximately 48 hours later after getting hit by Haloti Nada in practice.
Part of the reason I can't remember these things.
We then rekindled our friendship, I recall, with Triple X, the bowling team. We won a championship.
That's right.
And then we had Triple X 2.0 after I came back from law school. You invited me to be a part of your bowling team again.
Yep.
And I feel like we never looked back from there.
You know what's really funny about Triple X, the first championship, is when Dylan, the same Dylan, we went to go visit him last fall when we went to the Las Vegas Card Show. He was doing a bowling tournament, national bowling tournament down there. And he was doing really well. You and I went to go visit him.
Yes.
And you were trying to tell me that you had won a bowling title and that I never have. Tim, This got so out of hand. we were both we were cooling down with some refreshment beverages when we were out there. We got into like an hour-long conversation about Ricky swearing that I've never won a bowling title, and me telling Ricky, dude, I was on your team.
We almost got into it almost ruined the fight.
It did.
Because and honestly, I've just accepted that you're on the team now.
And you know what brought us back together?
What?
Was brunch. Because Tim showing up the next day and being so mad about brunch made you and I team up against him. Right. And it brought us all back together.
It took that long. Oh, my goodness.
So that's how I met Chad. With Tim, I met him through Chad in about, I'd say 2016-ish.
I'm curious about this one because my memory's foggy.
And I just put 2016-ish, and I put that Tim would make fun of us buying football cards, then promptly performed a swan dive into the hobby world's underbelly.
Swan dive, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that elegant.
Cannonball!
Man, I'm trying to remember too, Ricky. It definitely was over product because I think at best we had maybe
one or two hangouts before.
Passed during like one of Chad's hangouts that he hosts.
Yeah.
Right? You know, kind of like cursory. Oh yeah, that guy Ricky.
Well, and I won't dive into it too much. I do recall that you were making some life changes. You were moving down to Utah, and Chad had reached out to me and said, I think he might be interested in cards with us. We should set up a hangout. And so Chad did set up one or two hangouts. I think maybe the second or third one we were opening cards, and you were laughing at us. By the fourth one, you were buying $15,000 boxes of cards.
That's a rough progression, but yeah, I mean, it's actually not too far off from the truth, right? Because Chad, bless his heart, he's just got like a really good heart, though. For anybody that doesn't know him. And I was going through a rough patch in 2016, and it involved coming back to Salt Lake City as part of everything going on while I was still living in Portland. Kind enough to host me, and that meant a lot at the time.
Yeah, I think that was it. Like you were maybe even staying there for a week or two, and I'd come hang out with you guys.
Yeah,
going to the card shop.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And do you remember how hard I'll never forget. You keep bringing up the Kobe miscut or non-authentication.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget how hard he laughed at us while we opened football cards.
Oh, I know.
I honestly don't remember this part.
Dude, yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, jeez.
He said we were uncultured, we were rubes and boobs and noobs.
His laugh certainly implied it.
Yep.
And I think I said the wrong date for meeting you, Tim.
2006 would have been second year med school.
Yeah. That was it.
But anyway,
again, concussion.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think one of the first products we opened was Donruss Elite Football.
Yep.
And then from there, I don't remember, but basically jumped straight to Ricky's favorite, Gypsy Queen. And that was the birth of the Abe Lincoln pube patch.
Yes. We were gonna get
Goodwin champions. There we go.
Yes.
See?
Oh yes. No, we had a lot of fun, and it was so fun because even Chad had dabbled back in cards again, but I don't think you really got into them to the degree.
No, not at all.
So we really all kind of entered together and relearned the product starting 2015, 16.
For sure. Yeah. And that was kind of the turning point for the hobby stuff, right? And
Yeah.
so for me, I think what finally swung me was like just seeing how excited you guys were, and finally got my interest to kind of take a look at modern product. And so, from there, I mean,
you were busy winning and losing $500 million suitcases full of cash.
Yep.
You needed a hobby to pour your energy into. We gave that outlet to you. You promptly
that's what I was trying to phrase.
went to the dark web.
But it actually like pulled me through some pretty dark times as far as like having a distraction and something else to sink myself into that wasn't gambling related.
No more getting the crap kicked out of him by those bouncers at the Mirage.
Right. Cards and friends will do that for you. It's good.
Exactly.
All right, now for this next question, I'm stuck. What do we do?
Yeah, you're screwed. Okay, so here's the next question that we had. What do your spouses think about our cards?
Okay.
So here's how the morning went. And I think I may have said this pre-show.
Okay.
I asked both of our spouses to comment on this.
Oh, my wife wouldn't stop talking about it from the second she got home last night through this morning that she had to get up early.
I was going to be certain that you already knew exactly everything that happened.
She started to try and tell me, and I said, just so you know, I think this is supposed to be a surprise for me, so stop talking to me, and she did. Promise.
Thank you. Okay, so they both looked at me and said, how are we supposed to answer this in 2 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't know. Either come up with a quick answer.
Use your words.
Or give us a hobby pack. And they said, we're not going to give you a hobby pack. Like, we're both tired. We got other things going on today, which understandable. It was early, and they had late nights yesterday.
Right.
So I said, okay. Then they start asking some more specific questions. 20 minutes later, I get a text that pops up with an audio file of an 18-minute long answer.
Oh, my God.
And as I alluded to, it's gold. We're not going to play it right now.
All right.
Hobby packs will be coming.
All right.
With specific questions. My plan is to call this Cocktails and TTF Spouses.
Okay.
And I told him that I can't pay him, but I'll serve him a drink and dinner and give him a microphone. Now, here's the thing. None of us can be present
Yes.
for their conversation. I will edit and I will post it.
I think you should let Tim be present to run the board.
Well, no, because I think that I don't want to speak for you guys, but I know that when I talk about cards in the show, it's almost always that you two are involved.
Yeah.
And so even though it's not Tim's spouse who's there, like you're still going to get answers about Tim.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying.
I don't want him influencing
I don't,
their answers.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just want them to be able to talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
unfiltered.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. Well, do you want us to answer how we think our wives feel?
It's going to be a moment. Well, no, you're not going to want to, I don't think.
All right. I could tell you right now.
All right, go for it.
It's going to depend on if we're getting along or not. When we're getting along, I've had those moments.
Tim, edit this.
Like in Knocked
Don't
Up.
play this.
I told Mrs. eBay this is coming out. I'm busting her.
Okay.
I've had those moments like in Knocked Up where she's working alongside me and like when we're trying to sell on eBay and she starts screaming because she found a parallel or an important card.
Yeah, you've
and we
talked
high
about
five.
it that way before. Yeah.
And I've also had periods of time where she reminds me how many thousands of dollars I've spent on pieces of cardboard.
That we don't hear about, but yeah.
And I've had that exchange with the same two exchanges within a 24-hour period.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you how my wife had responded. She said, you know what? I've got a loving husband, and he spends exactly the right amount of time on cards.
Whoa.
And he never brings it into the home. That's because I love you, honey. Ricky, you're screwed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice, clean
exactly.
answer. Can I tell you guys what my ex probably would say?
Yes.
Yes. Here's what we're here for.
Do it. Hey, do it in a high-pitched voice, though.
No, I can't do that. P is not stupid and, obviously watches me sort cards and has, helped me actually pack up my cards to send out to eBay buyers. And at times also helps me just sort them by teams. Mm-hmm. I have tried to get her to recognize players, but she's not really that into that part. Mm-hmm. And so when we watch sports, she hasn't really picked up on like specific players yet either. So she's 7 now. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. I don't buy for a moment that some parents have a 6-year-old who has a favorite player, favorite enough that they want to stand at the front of a baseball stadium or a basketball arena begging for a star player's autograph on a jersey that they can't fit into because it's a triple XL.
I did that as a kid. I literally did that
at
as a
6?
kid.
Interesting. Okay.
Most kids.
Well, okay. Fair enough. Well,
But I'm weird, man.
that didn't go where I wanted it to.
Sorry.
But that's fine.
I did not.
No. See? Thank you,
go.
Ricky.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. But anyway, I think my ex's response would be but
Well, we can find out for real. Ricky, you want to play it?
Yeah, do you have it?
The sound clip?
Yeah.
It's the green one.
Yeah, I'll take the number 6, please.
All right, that'll be $4.
For fiat
I'm
dollars.
just wanted to see you cringe again.
Oh, man.
jeez.
All right, guys. Our next question is, how old were you when you hit your first one of one? And I'll tell you guys, when I was collecting as a younger child, I don't even know that 101s really were quite the thing that they are today. So I ran the math. I believe I was the ripe age of 33 years old.
Jeez.
Timmy, how about you?
I believe it was 2017, so I would have been 35. Gotcha beat.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And, I'm not that far behind you guys. For how much grief you guys gave me, I'm not that far behind. But I was 36 years, 9 months, and 12 days.
Oh, and how many seconds?
As documented on the Overtime Cards website. So that's how old I was. Johnny, how old were you?
I was 9.
Wait, who's Johnny?
And we got an auto on the back. Oh no, that's Kid Reporter. Never mind. Greg Newsome, Jalen Dard. One of one Mac Jones. One of one Mac Jones. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely incredible. So who we have here on the show is Johnny. Johnny, you are the one who pulled this Mac Jones. We've got Johnny Stone and his dad, Chad, forming the duo to pull this card. Johnny and Chad, welcome onto the show. Thanks for being on here, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So just a couple of questions for you. Clearly extremely excited for your video. And I love that you have that on video. If you're anything like me, you're going to watch that thing 1,000 times over and over again.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how, Johnny, you're 13?
Yep.
Johnny, talk to us about how a 13-year-old ends up ripping Prism football. So how did that box get in front of you?
My dad, well, technically we traded for the boxes. We traded cards back in February for pre-order because we know our local card shop really well. But my dad buys almost everything and I sell almost everything, and we split 70-30.
Who gets the 70?
He gets the 70.
Oh, okay.
We got to keep the ball rolling somehow.
Right.
We actually paid for one of the boxes back in February and traded for the other two boxes. And since it just came out 2 weeks ago or whenever, and I picked them up as soon as the shop opened, and he was working. So then I decided just to go live and open them. And here we are.
Here you are.
Wait, so Chad, did you know that this happened in real time?
I actually got to witness it live because I'm driving to a bid and he goes live and I'm just listening and peeking. And it's still, the gravity of the card didn't hit me until the next day. But when I actually got to his house, I told my ex-wife, I'm like, the card's cool and what we're about to get for it's cool. But having his reaction on camera is priceless.
Yeah,
because his reaction, I've never seen it. I've never seen a reaction, and especially out of him, like that ever in my life. And that was the coolest thing to me, is to have him have that kind of freak out moment and have it live on recording.
Absolutely.
I think that's a moment that we're all chasing. I think that's why all of us are in the hobby to some degree, right? We all want that moment.
We all want that moment. I'm telling you. I hit a Zion Williamson RPA to 10 flawless.
You didn't even know that.
That's nothing.
And I wasn't watching the break, and I didn't have that moment. He told me about it.
Wow.
So, but what was going through your mind right when you were hitting that card? I mean, we hear the audio of kind of the excitement, but what was your initial thought as you think back to pulling that card out of, I think, your second or third pack?
I just thought, like, this is a cool card, but it didn't set in until like the next day or so.
Wow.
But as soon as I hit it, I knew, I'm like, okay, now I can buy a gaming PC.
A few. Yeah.
That is awesome. Now, you hinted it earlier that you actually traded for this case at your local card shop. Do you remember what cards you traded to get one of these boxes?
We traded tons of slabs that we got back, and then tons of raw. We just trade whatever we have left over that we don't sell.
Does any card stand out to you that you're like, man, I really wish I had that card that I traded away?
No. We never really,
Zion Williamson.
So.
Okay.
I wish we had the Zion back, because he's actually going to finally be healthy and play, Lord willing.
Right.
We didn't trade that, though. We sent that to Goldin. It got 26,000, and the last one sold before that 91.
Wow. So you traded away a bunch of slabs that you don't necessarily recall and ended up getting that Mac Jones. Boy, I bet that local card shop's a little
It was just a value
frustrating.
order that was $12 a card. So we submitted a bunch of random stuff that's like a $2 raw card, but back then it was $30.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Dream come true. Now, you ended up selling this card for an amount of money that I have read about on other websites. Do you feel free that we're sharing that number?
Yep.
So you sold that card for $100,000. That's big time money.
Yes.
I think the highest card that I've had in my collection for a long period of time was less than $1,000.
Yes.
Since I've cleared that hurdle, but we're not at 100,000 yet. So, guys, what are you going to do with the money?
Well, he's probably going to buy some more houses or whatever and do all that.
I flip houses, so it's going to help me finish a few houses and I roll the money through.
Nice.
He's got a nice little pad now, 13.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom's making me put most of it in savings.
Smart.
And
Okay.
so I have a lot of it in savings, but I just ordered my gaming PC the other day, and it's coming Wednesday. And then I haven't really done anything else with the money besides I bought some French fries at the fair, and that's it.
Well
love that
earned. Well earned. Now, one last question I had was, have your buying habits changed since this hit took place? And I know it's pretty new, but do you feel you're more of the urge to chase that excitement again?
We kept getting in prison break still because we still haven't hit anything good for Trevor besides an off-center auto, and we've gotten like 30 cases worth of Prism and haven't hit one good Trevor.
Oh,
Trevor's a hard hit in Prism, I'll tell you.
Apparently, yeah.
We're not seeing a lot of them, and we were wanting a pretty good sized Trevor, but we're more selective. Some of the smaller stuff we don't even mess with anymore. Prism, Select, National Treasures, Immaculate, and Flawless.
Okay.
I know
And
those are
Optic.
higher end products, but
Yeah.
they have the best return on their investment.
Absolutely.
You know, the lower stuff just doesn't hold their value. If you hit a 101 in a lower product, it might only fetch 5 or 10 grand. And if that's the biggest hit, why are we even wasting our money
right.
on that? You know?
We
Yeah.
also buy a lot of Bowman. Bowman's one of our main boxes that we like to get.
Yeah. Baseball.
Do like Bowman.
That's going to make Tim very happy. I'm kind of notorious for not liking Bowman, but Johnny, the reason for that is I can't pull anything out of a box of cards.
Bowman's better than Flawless.
But what
I like Tobin
will
Bowman.
excite you, Chad, is their plan at the National. What's your plan at National?
Oh,
With the case of Select, we're going to go live. Tell them.
oh yeah, we already pre-ordered our case of Select. We're gonna probably go live and open it either the night before the National or at the National, because we're going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it comes out Friday. So if we can get it Thursday from the card shop, then I'll probably go live late at night on Thursday.
Wow.
That is so cool. All I ask really is that you try and do that before about 9 p.m. Mountain Time, which is my bedtime, because I would love to be able to watch you pull the next massive hit out of that.
Where
I
can
probably wouldn't be able to do it before 9 p.m. Mountain Time, or I'd get my shop in trouble. So I'd probably have to do it around midnight if I did it.
You
That's a
are
good
one
point.
smart kid. I
Yeah.
shouldn't even call you a kid.
We
You are
gotta
smarter
follow
than
the
I am.
rules.
Yes.
Follow the rules.
I almost unintentionally set you up. You're very quick.
Johnny, where can people find you and watch this potential break of Select at the National?
I just do it on my Facebook, and I just go live, and whoever joins, they join. But my 101 Mac Jones had like tons of viewers when I was live, and then after that, I think it's up to like over 10,000 views.
Oh,
Awesome.
Wow.
believe it.
And on Instagram, people can find you at stones_sports_cards with a Z. Is that correct?
Yep.
Well, thank you both for joining us on the show today. It's been awesome to hear your story, and what an incredible experience.
Yeah, this is awesome. Congratulations again, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Take
Yeah,
care.
You guys are free to hop off. Thanks.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Man,
Bye.
9 years old.
Winning his first one. That's what a setup they have.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's awesome. I love that his purchase was some French fries. We were talking before the show, like, what were we doing at age 13? When
Right.
we hit a big car, and I was telling you guys, I go. to
That's more
school,
in line.
I play basketball. Like, occasionally you go get fast food, and you're
Get some
excited
French
about
fries.
that. Yeah, the last thing I was doing was pulling massive cards. So good on him. That's super cool.
Absolutely. Timmy, before we hit this next question, if you want to prep any advice you may have, the final question for this segment was, what card in each other's collection do we wish that we had? I'm happy to go first if you guys want, or you're welcome to, Chad, if you have some in mind.
Yeah, I'll go first, and I'll kind of start with the end.
Yeah.
My answer is I didn't have a perfect one. This was a listener submitted question, and my thought with this is that we need to spend more time hanging out, not doing show prep, not thinking about, not the stress of this, but
Right.
always be working, but to actually sit down and look through each other's cards more.
Yeah.
But 2 cards. One
Okay.
is a Goodwin Champions World War II vet. You
Yep.
pulled one and I pulled one. I pulled the medic. I don't even remember who you pulled, but I'd like to have more of those.
Yeah.
And that's the card. I don't even know if you still have it, but
I do.
I really like that one. Tim, I don't even know if you own a card. But I do know that on last week's show, you had that Michael Jordan Scoring Kings PSA 8. I have always wanted the Jordan Scoring Kings. Always, always, always. So I'm very jealous of that card and the good grade that you had.
Yeah, I've heard that from you a couple times as far as the Scoring Kings. So maybe we can fix that at some point. So,
What were yours, Timmy?
well, I think to follow up Chad's point about not getting a chance to sit down and sort through cards and just kind of see each other's collections, off the top of my head, I was just thinking about, 90s baseball and growing up and watching that. I know you had a really cool, really pretty Cecil Fielder auto that you picked up. And if I were to tackle another project at some point, I think pulling some of the 90s players that I grew up watching, and, Cecil's definitely up there, Griffey, Bo, Thomas, the Braves that just tore through the World Series. There's plenty of players from that era that I think would be really cool to own.
Yeah.
And then for Chad, I immediately just think about the Donovan Mitchell kabooms. And this might be the last year to enjoy them if he goes elsewhere.
You're right, man.
But I actually would not want his rookie year kaboom because I was thinking about it. That's the one that's horizontal, correct? Yeah. So I'd take his second year kaboom.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that PSA 10 has a pop report that's about a fifth of the size of his rookie year one.
Oh, wow. So
very small.
even
It's a pop
rarer.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
Timmy, for you, I just went historical, and any Michael Jordan autographed card. Growing up, that was the grail. That was like who you would chase and would dream about, always be unattainable. That's not to say I didn't have favorites that I went after, Barry and Carl and Reggie Miller, but Jordan was the grail. So any Jordan autographed card I'm incredibly envious of. And then for Chad, I picked the Donovan Kabooms. I actually like the horizontal one quite a bit.
Okay.
I don't know why. For whatever reason, it really stands out to me. And the LeBron Steph preferred dual patch. Those would be mine.
Yeah. Interesting thing about Jordan autos. Back when we were chasing around the Bulls when they were here for the finals trying to get autographs, we went to the Marriott downtown that we've talked about before.
Right.
My cousin went down there with me. He's a few years older. They had everyone sectioned off in the main lobby. They actually did have some security for the Bulls, especially with Jordan. My cousin found his way back into the Marriott kitchen to get past security onto the elevators to get up onto the floor. So he's got like a video camera of him trekking around through the kitchen.
Did he deliver some food to MJ that night?
He should have like hid underneath the room service tray, little push cart. But he did make it up to the floor that he thought was theirs, but didn't see anyone, and then was promptly escorted off the property.
That's awesome.
It's because it wasn't on a Sunday. So. Or was on a Sunday. Yeah. I butchered that one. That's fine.
That's what you get for trying to make fun of the mailman delivering on Sundays. Too.
Well, good questions. We need to do more of that in the future. Feel free to send in your questions or anything you would like to see the show cover at PTTF Podcast on Instagram. That's at PTTF Podcast on Instagram. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of Panini's NBA Finals specific booklets. It's that time of year. We'll be back with that after Timmy gives us a little bit of advice.
I'm going to steer you guys back over to ZionCases.com because their cases that are available are just some of the top tier in the hobby, I believe. I honestly think that most people should own a slab case X at minimum at $99.99. And if that's just not quite big enough for your purposes, just bump it up to an XL at $129.99. Holds about 160 cards plus or minus, depending on what kind of slabs you own. And I think the most exciting development recently is their colorways. So they have now a color splash for red or blue cases instead of just black.
Awesome.
Which color is yours?
Don't know. I just have that big old box sitting in our closet now. It's not hidden. It's right in the middle of the walkway of the closet. Just staring me right in the face.
In the standoff, that is Ricky.
Yeah, versus Mrs. eBay. She did. She moved it after I asked her, do you have any plans to move this? And she yelled at me, what's the use? You already know.
This is a point of contention.
Oh, very much so.
So maybe a public service announcement.
Yeah.
If anyone out there is going to be buying a Zion case or if their spouse is going to be buying it, let them know that it is printed on the outside box, shipping box,
Yes.
to try to avoid any marital disputes that may happen.
And not over the top, just on the label. Don't let your significant other look at that label.
That's all it takes, huh? Well, in order to procure one of these excellent cases, just remember to head over to zioncases.com and use promo code PACK for 10% off your order.
Excellent advice, Timmy. All right, guys. Well, you can check us out on our website at pttfpodcast.com. You can listen to the show, check out interactive blogs, our YouTube channel, clips, and leave a voicemail for the show while shopping all our excellent sponsors for all your hobby supply needs. Guys, for this last segment, it is the NBA Finals, and it's turning out to be a pretty decent finals this year.
Yeah.
Chad, I think you were inspired by a recent pickup with a cool dual patch, LeBron Steph. Maybe got us looking at some other patch specifics tied to the finals, right?
That's correct. This segment, I want to focus on the finals booklets.
Okay.
There are multiple patch cards that have been produced over the years with finals memorabilia. I know that we had some with Immaculate, with Topps, with Leaf, but I want to focus on Panini Preferred and then on Opulence as well.
Okay.
I feel that they both have very underappreciated booklets of some neat pieces of jersey associated with NBA Finals games.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but Panini Preferred seemed to stop making product about the time that we were getting back into the hobby. So
Correct.
Panini Preferred, up until the time that I purchased the Steph and LeBron booklet card, I didn't really know of their existence.
No.
Did either of you two? Like, I feel kind of ashamed by saying this, but I'll just be perfectly honest.
No, we missed that boat. We just barely missed that boat. And I'd say I've known about Preferred for about 8 to 10 months, just because I've been looking at those patches. But other than that, no, knew nothing about them.
Tim?
Well, back in my case buying heyday, I remember buying a case of Panini Preferred, but it was football. And I think we had opened, we had opened a pack or a box or something and realized it was just complete hot garbage.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, that was my first impression of it. And we traded that case for something else at our local card shop, I believe, which I don't remember anymore. But yeah, I was like, I'm just done with this product.
Wow. I didn't recall that. So
Yeah. See?
the initial thought, honestly, guys, was to do an entire episode on these booklets.
Okay.
And as I started looking at the first few years of Preferred, it wasn't going to happen. It would have to be an encyclopedia for these episodes. So
Right.
what we're going to focus on are the finals booklets. Panini Preferred started with these finals booklets 2013-14 up until 2016-17. After that, Opulence picked up finals booklets going from 17-18 up until 19-20.
Right.
So that's what we're going to focus on this segment.
Okay.
Now, I listed a whole bunch of garbage in our show notes, and I'm sorry for all the information that's there. I want to start with Preferred and kind of work our way forward, and then I have some questions to discuss. So what I would encourage people to do is that if you're not familiar with these cards that we're talking about, get to a computer, pull up eBay, and just start searching some of these as we go along.
Absolutely.
I think that will help out a lot. So the first question that I have, and we answered this a little bit already about Preferred, but I want to expand it. Prior to doing research for this episode, what did you guys think about booklet cards? Just in general. Tim, we'll start with you.
Start with me. Booklet cards. I actually was a fan. I think one of the first ones I ever hit was in, I forget the year now, 2017 SP Authentic Hockey. It was a vertical booklet, and got lucky enough to hit a Wayne Gretzky auto. And that was my first booklet impression. So for me, it was really positive.
Wow.
I think as the years have gone on, the impression has waned a little bit in terms of how cool they are, mostly because you know that in the hobby they're monetarily not valued as well. But I think that's wrong. I mean, I think they display really well.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I rounded up my booklets from home.
Did you bring some?
Yeah, I did.
Let's see
Had
'em.
more than I thought. They can be really, really cool. The first booklet I have is a tobacco booklet made by Gypsy Queen. This is a Jock Peterson number to 25 patch auto.
Whoa.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
If I touch this now that he's a Giant, my hands will fizzle. So I'm not going to touch it, but it looks cool.
You can see game used patch with a little bit of dirt.
That's a great patch, too.
Yeah. That was when I first had gotten into collecting. My wife, for Christmas, I believe, had purchased me a box of Gypsy Queen from 2015. And hit that in the little top loader.
That's really cool.
And that booklet looks like a coffee table book.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back when you said a vertical booklet.
Yeah.
Because I think that could mean two things. I've seen booklets that open top to bottom.
Correct. So it was 2 vertically oriented cards side by side.
With a fold in the middle.
Like
a
a
vertical fold.
Traditional
Vertical fold.
book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I have the TJ Hawkinson. This is one
I
of
hate
the
you.
half a dozen cards
You would bring that, you piece of
that Chad won for me out of Limited 2019. What's cool about this piece of jersey is that's the jersey he's holding up in the photo with Goodell where he got drafted.
I'm happy you have that. Like, I will always keep up the bit of screw you
Oh,
because you screw me out of things. However, this card, I would have sold that card if it was mine, right? No, seriously, like he doesn't mean anything to me, but I think it's cool that you hit it.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll love it.
I like that case you got, too.
Thank you. And then the Noah Syndergaard, Nolan Ryan dual hit that I had gotten from Tribute Baseball 2017.
I remember that one.
Still hold on to that. And then here's just another example, playoff football. This is no good anymore. Darius Guice is not a great person. So, but it just is a good display. I think that they're really cool looking. I think that they can be cool to display as well. I think that they're tough to store. And I think that they're a non-gradable with the way how terrible of a job PSA and BGS.
If you want wall art,
wall
art,
it works out great. These things get graded in massive slabs.
Yeah, I was going to say, anybody who's seen one is just completely absurd. You
They're
think they do
hideous.
that to your little mini booklet, too?
Oh, please submit it. Please submit it with our next sub, and let's just see. You have to. Come on.
I may have to.
Now, for me, booklet cards, I've only owned one up until that Steph LeBron, and it was a player, I think it was DeLon Wright of the University of Utah. It was a college one, and that was just more of the University of Utah. I thought it was cool.
Right.
But these preferred ones have definitely changed my tune on booklet cards. So moving ahead, we talked about booklets in general. You guys looked at some of the preferred that are listed on here. Ricky, we'll start with you. What do you think about the preferred, the finals booklets?
So I thought the cards themselves looked good. I didn't think they looked mind-blowingly great, though. I do, though, think that these cards are so cool and important. I really believe that the quality of the patches and cards will decrease over time. And I think as it does, I think patches, specifically patches that point to any specific game, let alone a finals NBA game, will be very valuable in the future.
Yeah, I agree. 2013-14, so the horizontal booklets had mostly a black background. And at first, from far away on a tiny eBay screenshot, I thought it was flames across the top. But you zoom in and it's actually spotlights all across the top.
Yeah.
And specifically, I was looking at a Dwayne Wade, which is why maybe I jumped to the flames. And then I realized all the other booklets seemed to have that image too. And I thought they looked great, just for value purposes. So, a Dwayne Wade PSA 8.5. Nope, scratch that. I will edit that out.
No, you won't.
That's a good thought, though.
That's no, screw that. I think I was right. So Dwayne Wade, PSA 8.5 was 6.5 K. So
Wow.
6,500.
Wow.
That was through Goldin Auctions.
Please keep that all in.
Well, it's interesting. Let's carry on a little bit on the look of the card there. On 13-14, you mentioned the lights up above. The background is pretty much smeared black, so you can't see detail, but it really makes the player pop. Most of the player photos for that year are single players. You might get a defender on there as well, but it's a really good up close, pretty much action shot of the player. And the thing that I really like is the photo seems to be of the player in the finals jersey that the card is representing.
Yes.
And I like that a lot.
Yes.
Most of the years of preferred did that in one way or another. 14-15 is similar. That's more of a vertical oriented book. But I think that the color especially with the dark background, really makes that player pop. 15, 16 is the same way as well. So the preferred ones I really like. I like the horizontal booklets, Tim, like you mentioned from 13, 14, I think the best. So that's preferred. We're going to get onto some specifics about each of these in just a moment, but let's contrast them to the switch that then happened in 17, 18 with the move going over to Opulence.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, thoughts on the look of the Opulence booklets? Ricky, you look ready to roll. Go for it.
I thought that Opulence had a lot more going on with the booklet. There was a lot more color. But I also felt that the color at times could be too distracting. I felt like there was too much gold in a lot of the cards I saw. But again, I do have to say that these patches really are the star of the show.
Yeah.
And these jumbo finals patches are amazing to look at and going to be, I really believe, excellent value moving forward.
Well, what Ricky's referencing too, though, is like the majority of these patches were straight up logo patches.
Yes.
Game worn.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
what other product are you going to find that in? None. And it wasn't like a little window. We're talking like a big giant window.
Yes. And all color, at least color, at least a big blue or, no just single white patches.
Gosh, can you imagine for such a high end product if they put out
No,
pure
no.
napkin patches?
Some of them are. I mean, the LeBron
Some.
that's at the time of recording that's available on eBay
Yeah.
is a single color patch. But
Yeah.
then again, it's LeBron and it's the size of my forehead, which is massive. So still looking good. I think the Opulence, I'm with you, Ricky. It's a little busy
Yeah.
for me. The border is a little much. It takes some focus away from the player and from the jersey. There's a lot more word and print on there. So it says Opulence. It says the finals in the year. The thing I do really like, though, on the bottom right of the Opulence, it says what game it was from and the date next to it, too.
Yeah, that's just it. If you can pinpoint it to a specific date and game and go back and watch that game now with your card, I mean, that is invaluable. It's similar to baseball sticker.
It is. And that's what really grabbed me moving on to the next point. That's why I think these are so damn cool compared to other patches. These ones that we've talked about with Preferred and Opulence, they are from a specific game in the NBA Finals, and they tell you what game that is.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
For me, that grabs me a
Yes.
lot. I don't know about you guys, but I started going through and pulling up the individual games from each year to see who had the best game, who won the game, who won the series. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, and for me, see, I can appreciate that, and I would agree that would be a ton of fun. For me, even the fact that you can point it to a game, and so long as the player played in that game, even if it was from a great series, but maybe it was a Steph patch and he had a terrible game that one game, I still would love to have that patch as long as I could point to, hey, that was part of it.
That series. Yeah. And I wanted to highlight then, so it was 2014-15. I know we're taking a step back to Preferred, but to make the point of being able to point it to a game and player, Tim Duncan had some patches and cards. I've never seen any Tim Duncan patch auto cards.
I don't think he signed a whole lot. So this, again, was kind of outside of my time, but I had, going back, a press pass Tim Duncan rookie autograph that I pulled from a pack, and I sold it just before the boom of 2020. And I remember a couple of people on Instagram telling me, like, dude, he doesn't sign a whole lot. And that could be wrong. Like, this is just my anecdotal experience.
Right.
But as far as Opulence, though, yeah, the vertically oriented booklet, like True Book booklets, I think just look great. Problem is, Opulence was atrociously expensive at the time. Like, that's why I don't think anybody truly considered it like a rookie year product or like a nice product, because people just didn't open it at the time. If it had been released now in today's climate, it would sell amazingly well.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They just timed it flat out wrong.
Right.
Like, the hobby wasn't ready for a 5-figure dollar product.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the Spurs in particular. Just below in our show sheet here, I listed the finals matchup for each of these years from both Preferred and Opulence. Do any of those matchups stand out to you? So I'll run through these really quick. At the very beginning, moving forward, Spurs Heat again, Warriors Cavs. You can repeat that for 4 years.
It's 2015 now.
Yep. So Warriors Cavs for 15, 16, 17, 18, and then Warriors Raptors. So those are going to be the matchups that we're looking at. Do any of the team matchups stand out to you guys as something that is important to you in basketball history, important to you in your mind, card collecting years, anything at all, as I slap my thigh, making a sound right in there.
So
good job, Chad.
For my PC, or I'd say even teams I remotely root for, because they're other than the Jazz, there are going to be teams that you don't mind seeing win and in their respective games per se. No, none of these teams do it for me. However, when it comes to greatness and appreciating the significance of great series, yes. So I would want this similar to the reason I want my Magic Johnson autographed card. Not because I'm a Magic Johnson fan or a Lakers fan per se, but because I can appreciate he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
That's fair.
So if I'm looking at it from that greatness perspective of saying, hey, this is significant, I'm looking at the 2016 Warriors Cavs or 2013 Spurs Heat.
Interesting. Any particular reason for either of those, Ricky?
Game 7 series, the 2016 Warriors Cavs in particular, I do recall was just an excellent series where LeBron put the Cavs on his shoulders and
that was pretty memorable.
took him to the promised land.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm going to bust your chops a little bit, though.
Yeah.
You went to the University of Texas, correct?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes, Tim. Yes.
Kevin Durant happened to play for Texas, correct?
Yes. Okay, Kevin Durant.
And did you pay attention to 2018-19's finals patches and players available?
Yes.
It was the only year that Kevin Durant sold his soul out for a championship. In 2018-19. So there's a nice juicy booklet from Opulence that year that I think might pique your interest.
Okay, there's one card from a PC perspective.
Well, I think these matchups, there's a lot of big ones. Ricky, you pointed on the 2 Game 7s, but also let's even just think about basketball significance. This is going to be a little bit tricky because we're recording this a little bit early in the week. I don't know what's going to happen with the Warriors, but I think Steph Curry has proven up until Game 4, wherever we are in the finals at the time of recording this, that he is an elite and probably top 10 or 20 player in NBA history.
Oh, man. I mean, his splits are amazing. 50% from 2,
it's incredible.
48% from 3, and we're giving him a hard time about having bad games.
He could at the end of this all compete for number 1. He could.
I mean, so this is going to be really tricky, right? Because we're coming off Game 4 at the time of recording this.
Right.
And so I think it's worthwhile just to state that,
right.
to hedge our bet a little
true.
bit.
A week out.
But he did carry that team and win that game in the NBA Finals against an elite Boston Celtics team.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Steph Curry has 3 different years in here. When he won a title with the Warriors, you could pick any one of those years and say, hey, this is a game-worn jersey from the NBA Finals of Steph Curry, one of the greatest players ever, and you've got that card.
That's right.
And then one of the years he didn't win it, you've got LeBron coming back from that epic 3-1 deficit, and you've got LeBron and Kyrie there. Or you've got the Heat beating the Spurs in Game 7, with that dynamic trio of the Miami.
Even the Raptors, you had Kawhi.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Kawhi's laugh. I knew if the laugh didn't get you, Tim, me explaining it, what you already knew would get you.
Oh, gosh.
So the final thing then, looking at the series, did you guys pick out one particular card? I think Tim kind of laid one right in your lap, Ricky.
Yeah.
I've got one in mind that I really want to own after looking at these, but did anything stand out to you guys?
I did not pick the Durant because I didn't see the Durant, but that's my pick now, the Durant. The other 2 I had noted were the 2013 Preferred LeBron Miami Heat patch, numbered to 25. And Opulence 17-18 Steph Curry patched, numbered to 25. I did note that there didn't appear to be an Opulence patch available for the 2016 finals, or I couldn't find one.
Yeah, I think they're so stinking rare, too, that some of them just didn't pop up on eBay when we were searching.
So that'd be for the 17-18 Opulence year for the 2017 finals.
Correct.
Am I thinking about oh boy, I'm going to get myself in trouble there. But anyway, we can continue on because I know I'm going to screw that one up. Tim, did you find a card that stood out to you? And to be fair to both you guys, I gave you guys about 24 hours notice to look at these, so I appreciate you humoring me and looking at these.
I mean, I think I was just kind of enamored with the fact that these were just truly game-used, game-worn patches, and not just like plain old patches, but like straight-up logo ones. So, I mean, I think if I were collecting history, then it'd have to be Curry and LeBron, like some of their just fantastic patches in these products. Yeah.
Well, for me, I think there's a huge one that we're missing here.
What's
It's
that?
from 2013 Preferred, and it's LeBron James. And I'll tell you why. It states on the booklet that it's game one, which Miami lost 92 to 88. They did go on to win that series in 7 games. LeBron in that game recorded a triple-double. One of only 21 players to ever record a triple-double in NBA Finals history, according to a website that I read this morning. LeBron has the most triple-doubles in NBA Finals, and you can have a piece of that with that first-year Preferred card. So for me, this one's a no-brainer, and it's the LeBron 2013, and I will own one of those. That would be a goal.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, for Chad and Tim, this has been another fun show. This is Ricky,
The French fry. The county French fries.
the County French Fry, wishing all of you a one-of-one night.
Ricky, lots of Instagram buzz this past week regarding PSA submissions and your show outline last week.
Yeah. A lot of warm feedback and a lot of people upset that they missed out on our group submission that we were running.
That we didn't advertise for. But I will comment on the listeners. No one came with hate about my Von Miller not getting a 10, your Matt Stafford getting a 7, or the PSA 5. And Tim, there's no way that is truly a PSA 5. There's no way.
Unless somebody bent it in half before they slabbed it for me. Yeah.
But guys, there's been some chatter about perhaps doing a show group submission.
Yeah. And I think at the time, to be fair, this was back when you were kind of getting lotteried for spots to even be able to send in cards. So now that we know that with these submissions, we can open it up, I mean, I think it's perfect. So.
Okay, we calling it out?
I think if we do it, you must join us on the show and be a part, because that part
Yes.
was really tough to
Yeah.
coordinate that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So if you're interested in submitting with us and having your grades revealed live on air
And being on the show with us.
being on the show,
Yeah.
reach out to us at PTTF Podcast on Instagram. Let us know you're interested. We'll hook you up.